money to others so that your life will become good. So those kind of persons at that time became famous. They were mostly saints, priests, etc. They were telling them to give money or to give something to someone else, and they can become their life famous, or they will become comfortable. So this kind of thinking was most prevalent at that time, and this is a superstitious belief. What are superstitious beliefs? The superstitious beliefs are the beliefs which are not real. They are just in the imagination, like we say Andhvishwas. So at that time this was mostly common in all the persons because of these priests, saints, Maulvis, etc. Then on the other side we have more of the charity. Right now also many of us are doing charity, but after doing charity there should be the person should not tell anyone else, or they should not go and do advertisements for doing charity. After doing charity, if you have done it, then don't tell anyone. That is the basic help that you are doing to others. If you are doing charity and telling everyone in the whole nation on the news channels, etc., so it's not a charity, it's not a noble deed, it's just a thing that you are doing for show off. So that doesn't come from your heart. The next thing that was famous at that time was the beliefs in the ghosts, spirits, etc. So because of that, there were beliefs in those things. So that's why again more superstitious beliefs became famous. They were afraid of all these things, and that is the reason the saints and the priests were taking advantage of that time. They were telling that if you don't want these ghosts or spirits in your life, you have to do these things, you have to give money to us so that we can, you will not be afraid of those persons. So this thing again came as a superstitious belief in their life. Because of all these things, charity, ghosts, and there was one more thing, that is idol worship. Again today it's a belief that the idols, the statues of gods are called as idols. So those idols can either drink milk or they can eat food. So that is not possible. It's a stone. How can they drink milk or they can eat food? So that is not possible. So it's again a superstitious belief, that is idol worship. It's a superstitious belief. So all these beliefs were there, mostly prevalent in the society at that time. Now also they are prevalent, but they are in those areas who are uneducated, or they are living in the villages. These things are not common in the society where people are educated, and now they went to the modernization or globalization. So after all these superstitions, as many persons have seen, these superstitions are going on in the society. So there was some movements which were started by different people that are called as Bhakti or Sufi movements. Now what are Bhakti or Sufi movements? As the name says, Bhakti movements or Sufi movements, these movements were started by few people. They were traveling place to place and telling everyone whatever they think about the religion, whatever they think about the life, what the people have to do in their life, what they have to think for others. That is what the Bhakti or Sufi movement was. Bhakti movement or Sufi movement is related to God. That bhakti that you are doing, anything that you are following, that doesn't depend on these superstitious beliefs. It's away from that. To link your soul with the God is a proper bhakti. So that is what they were trying to say. To help others, not to tell anyone, that is a proper bhakti. Not to believe in these kind of statues or in these kinds of ghosts and spirit, that is the real bhakti. So same things, few things they have told in the society that we will do now onwards. The first person given in your textbook was Vallabhacharya, and here I have written that he was born in 1479 CE in Champaran village, and he studied in Banaras. What he studied different Veds, Vedanta, Sutras, Dharma Sutra, and many other things related to Sanskrit language like Ramayana, Mahabharata. Many holy books he has learned. So because he has That's why a educationist only can tell everyone what you have to do in your whole life. So these persons, those who were there, they were the preachers of that time. Who are preachers? Preachers are those teachers, those who are going everywhere and then they are giving their preachings. They are telling everyone, they are teaching everyone. Teachers are the persons who are living on one place and then everyone is coming to them. Preachers are those who are going everywhere and then they are telling everyone how to live their life. So these persons are the basic preachers. Then second one I have written is Srimad Bhagavad Katha. He started different kathas everywhere. We all know about this Bhagavad Katha. So he started because he has learned many books and read many books. That's why he has started this Bhagavad Katha by his own knowledge, whatever he has in his mind and heart. So he has added those things also with the things that he learned from the books. So he was doing all the things, he was telling everyone to do these kathas every time. Rameshwar, Haridwar, he went to many places. Again I am telling, as he was the preacher, so he was moving from place to place and telling everyone about these kathas. Then again, because Srimad Bhagavad Katha is there, so he was the follower of Sri Krishna and telling everyone to chant the name of Sri Krishna. So Sri Krishna is Purna Purushottam Param Brahma. According to him, he was telling that Sri Krishna is the God who is Purna. Purna means full. Purushottam. Purushottam means the person, the God who is a person also, a human being also and a God also. So this Krishna ji is the Purna, full Purushottam, that is the human being and God also, and Param Brahma, the kind of the root of Brahma ji. So he was the person who is the human being and the God, and he is having Brahma ji in himself also. In short, we can say that he was the God. This is the meaning of these three words. Then there were no caste distinction, no religion, no color, creed, anything should not be there according to him. Distinctions means differences, so there should not be any differences in the whole world. Then let us move to the next one, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Again he was born in 1485 and he studied in Bengal. Whatever he studied is basically main thing that he has studied is meditation. Everyone has their own streams and their own field. Whatever they studied, they told everyone. So here he studied meditation. Meditation nowadays is very common in the society. Yoga and meditation we all are doing, but at that time it was the new thing that was started by him. And he has told everyone to meditate, to join your soul with the God. So that is what he started in the society. Then he started Kirtan Mandalis. Now again this Kirtan is famous nowadays. Everyone is doing at their homes also or everywhere else. He started this. He started these mandals everywhere to do Kirtans, and the groups of the mandals are called as Baithak. So these persons were there who were starting these mandalis. The next is no distinction. Again in the same way, every preacher will say that there should not be any distinction on the basis of anything, caste, color, creed, language, sex, etc. So these differences should not be there in the society, then only you will be able to expand. Integration and brotherhood. Integration means groupism, togetherness. So there should be integration, togetherness within all the Indians, and brotherhood, bhaichara should be available in all the Indians, then only you will prosper. There is no need of distinction, there is the need of integration and brotherhood or togetherness. There now we will move to the next one. Now the next person is the Guru Nanak. traveled over all these places also to expand his knowledge. The next thing is that he was omnipotent, omnipresent and omniscient. What is the meaning? Omnipotent means he was having each and every power. Omnipresent means he was present everywhere, and omniscient means he was having everything. He was knowing everything, he was having everything. So it was like this that he became the God. Then he told everyone that we have to treat everyone equally. Again the same thing that were told by everyone else, that there should be no caste distinctions, there should be no language distinction or anything, there should be no differences. So it means the same thing that he was also telling, that everyone should be treated equally, which was the main thing, which was the main religion that you have to focus on. If you will do this, automatically you are doing the bhakti, you are doing the religion, worshipping the God. Next is in this Sikhism we have Guru Nanak, and the God is called as Sahib or Sadguru. So the gods are called as Sadgurus or Sahib. So this is what I have written. Sahib is God or can be called as Sadguru. Satnam was the name that everyone has to preach, that everyone has to tell to everyone to do the chanting of the name Satnam. Satnam is the 7 names of God. The persons, the followers of this Sikhism were called as Sikhs. Then the next is the holy book, that right now we all know, but at that time they were not knowing, that the holy book that those followers have to read was the name was the Guru Granth Sahib. Let us move to next one, that is Swami Ramananda. Swami Ramananda was the preacher. He preached in regional languages. The main quality of this person was that he was telling or teaching everyone in each and every language. Whenever or wherever he used to go, like if he is coming in Gujarat, so he will speak anything, whatever he is telling, preaching, that things he will speak in Gujarati. If he is going to Maharashtra, he will speak in Marathi. If he is going to anywhere else, suppose Bengal, so he will speak in Bengali. So same thing, that is the specialty of this person, that he was preaching in regional languages. Kabir and Raidas were his followers. The followers of Swami Ramananda were Kabir and Raidas. Now let us move to the next one, that is Narsingh Mehta. Narsingh Mehta is the Gujarati poet. As he went in Gujarat, he had got birth in Gujarat. So he was the Gujarati poet. He has written many poems and books in Gujarati language, and he belonged to the Nagar family. Now here Krishna Bhakti, again he was the follower of Krishna ji. So he has given everyone to chant the name of Shri Krishna. No attachment with the family. He was having no attachments with the family. It means from the childhood days he was believing in the religion, in following the God, the path of God. He was there with the saints and with priests every time from the childhood till the elder age. So that's why after having a family also, after having marriage also, he was not believing in these kind of systems, foundations. So that's why there were no attachment with the family. Then everyone should be treated equally. Again, he was also telling everyone that everyone should be treated equally. If they are present in the society, there should be no distinctions between anything. Now the next person is Kabir. Now Kabir was the weaver. He was from the weaver family. So same profession he has chosen, that he was the weaver. But afterwards, suddenly, after getting married, after having a family, then also he thought to become a saint, to become a preacher. So he used to sit with the saints and hermits every time, and he started getting knowledge about different sakhis and verses. What are sakhis and verses? Sakhis are the small paragraphs of dohas, and verses are the paragraphs from the religious books. So he started writing and telling everyone about the sakhis and verses, and that's why he became the preacher. Different names of gods. He started telling everyone that there person's life, that we have to do these things in our life also. Motivator is the person who is telling the other person that I have done this, in the same way you can do this, so that you can also grow in your life. And the propagator is the person who is telling everyone his own knowledge, his own experiences. That is propagator. So he was having these three things, plus he has done the cultural integration also. What is cultural integration? Cultural integration is the joining of all the cultures all together. So all these three things he was doing because he want to expand all the cultures and he want to join all the cultures. Then next one is Raidas. Raidas was from Kashi and he has helped everyone. So he was having the helpful nature. He was telling everyone that everyone is equal and we have to help each other, then only we can grow. There were different dohas of Raidas which became famous, like Kabir's. In the same way, Raidas has written different dohas. Mirabai was the follower of Raidas. As everyone, we also follow everyone. In the same way, Mirabai got fascinated by his things, by his theories of life. So she also started following him. Gujaratis were mostly the followers of this Raidas, and Raidas and Kabir were the followers of Swami Ramananda. Let us go to the next one, that is Tukaram. Now Tukaram was the saint of Vitthal Narji. Before Tukaram there were other saints who came, but as his theory of life, his following were more better or more serious than any other saint, so that's why he got famous as a saint of Vitthal Narji in Maharashtra. And because of him there was more growth of this god Vitthal Narji and in Maharashtra areas in 13th to 14th century. Then everyone started renouncing the names. Renouncing means again and again repeating the names. So this is a bad habit. How it is a bad habit? Renouncing their own names, telling everyone that they have done something for the society, they have done something for the persons. That is called as renouncing. So that is a kind of show off that they are doing after helping anyone. So that is bad. So he told everyone that rather than helping like this, better to help only one person and don't tell anyone afterwards. So that is the basic theory of his life. Now in this chapter we have done all the things related to the devotion of the Almighty, how we have to do the devotion. In the same way, we also at present, we also have to follow all these preachers in the life, so that our life will also grow. Then we don't have to follow those superstitious beliefs that are coming from the past times till today. We are already in some or the other way, we are already following those superstitious beliefs like ghosts. Sometimes we are doing idol worship. Idol worship is okay, but then if we are doing something, we are telling the god, we are talking with the god, we are talking with the statues, then we are telling them to drink milk or food, that is a superstitious belief. Then rather than focusing on God, we are believing in more in priests and saints, that is again a superstitious belief. So rather than doing that, we have to focus on our education, we have to focus what is going on in the practical life, we have to focus on the globalization and modernization, and then side by side we have to focus on our religion, the beliefs that we have, that we got from our parents, not the superstitious beliefs. So this is what we have all done in this chapter. Thank you everyone.